It's about Jimmy.
Two. Hello, everybody. We're live here on Mordenkainen's Path of the Plains. I am your substitute game master. Mark is currently labeled as Kim, our friend Ellie, simply because I've been feeling really lazy in Photoshop today, and I didn't feel like dealing with 75 layers and making it work. So let's go around, cast and crew, bring everyone up to speed. So I dungeon mastered last week and stepped in to run a two-part adventure that we've nicknamed Mordenkainen's Path of the Plains, the movie, MPP, the movie, because growing up I used to watch like a lot of Japanese animation where they would have the series, but then they might have a movie that used the same characters, had no connection to the original plot, and may not be able to fit in continuity. So yes.
Basically Serenity.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's one of those things where I really wanted to do something that would fit in. With that said, you notice we're still using the same characters. We're still in the same timeline. We are planar hopping right now, and we'll go around and everyone will introduce themselves, and then we'll set the framework for this adventure. So let's begin with Brulinda. Hello, Kelly. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? So I'm playing, of course, Brulinda, Greyhawk's singingest bard, who didn't get to sing at all last week. So I've got a notebook full of things, and hopefully get to use them today.
We've cast the silence spell. I'm just kidding. Yeah, there will be plenty of opportunities to sing. And I think you will find that singing this episode will probably do better good for you than sword fighting in most situations. Beneath her on the stream, you have my friend Alex Allen, Zippy Zippo. How are you, Alex?
Hello. I'm pretty excited to be back again. I am playing Shallot Wilbur Walla Walla Thaddeus Weatherfields and his talking sheep, Ramsey. I am excited to see what happens today and see what kind of shenanigans that Shallot the gnome wizard can cause.
I'm always nervous and need a Xanax when Shallot joins the fray. He's gray hairs, you know. Yes, he is a character. And to left of Zippy on the screen is Mr. Sean McGovern, Power Score RPG himself, the one of the helping hands on the hit show RPG Network on WebDM's channel.
Yeah, we had a really good show on Sunday. They kicked it up a notch with the virtual desk. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, I play Odos. I'm a Gitzer. I monk. I punch stuff, and I do backflips and stuff like that. So.
He's quite good at backflips, better than Strahd is.
Let's hope so.
He's like, well, there may be some bias in the judging. And above him is not our friend Ellie playing Lux. It is Mark Alexander Cross. Mark, who are you playing today? Introduce yourself to the stream.
Hello, everyone. First time here. My name is Mark Alexander Cross. I go by the handle of Capricorn Cross. And today I am playing an Eladrin by the name of Odeon de Winter. But that's all you're getting about him. The rest is as we go.
So, by way of curiosity, we'd like to thank our... before we get into that, I would like to thank our sponsors, Tabletop Loot. They have awesome sets of dice for your pleasure. And also RueInc.com, Queen of Cartography, Mistress of Maps, as well as the Cantrip Candles for our Patreon subscribers. I'm not going to read the 3-paragraph spiel because I've given you the URLs. I think that's good enough. Also, I haven't been given tabletop loot dice, and I haven't been given candles. But I was once shot in the ankle by Devin Rue. I still have the arrow. We're friends. when last we left our intrepid heroes, who would like to give a little bit of a recap of last episode, what they remember? In fact, I'd like each player to sort of do this, and I'd like you to describe to me your players' feelings as they approach the goddess of the moon, Saloon. I've decided that's the pronunciation based on the accent markings in her name. And the feelings that you have. So let's start with Brulinda. You go ahead and give us roughly about a 5-sentence description of what you remember from the start of last adventure and what you're feeling now, what your mood is as you approach this elven goddess of the moon.
Well, you took away my Hellfire engine that I had just managed to commandeer. I'm very annoyed by that. And hell froze over, and we climbed the infinite staircase, me in particular, behind Strahd, who decided to come fetch us, and who looked extremely good in his tight pants. We managed to get away from some elementals that almost caused a problem. And, well, Brulinda doesn't have much truck with the gods. She knows they exist, but as she puts it, just because I know they exist doesn't mean I have to believe in them. So, that's about where she stands at the moment.
Here's a question for you, Dungeon Master to player. Is there anything the gods would have to do in order for Brulinda to develop a belief in them? Or will she never believe in them? I'm just curious. There's no right or wrong.
I don't know. It has to do with a lot of her backstory that we haven't really gotten into yet. So I can honestly tell you I'm not sure if they would have to do anything, or if she's just basically told them that they're a bunch of asshats, kind of deal.
Okay, good. Yeah, and that's something I like to do as a dungeon master because it prevents me from like going down a path that will always be a wall with a character, and we can focus on other aspects of the story, or we might be able to present something that helps send the story in a different direction that might change your mind about the gods, especially since the gods you're dealing with here are not gods over the world of Greyhawk. She's a goddess of the Forgotten Realms. You just happen to be in her domain.
Actually Pirate Jesus just walked by and said you should just say belief is not believing. And that kind of works.
You're agnostic. You know they're there. You just choose not to worship them.
Which is a good segue into man of God himself, Charlotte Weatherfield. He's described as a godly man. Charlotte, go ahead and give us... Now, you've sort of appeared out of nowhere. Go ahead and describe your sudden arrival and what you recall of last week's adventure, as well as Charlotte's current mood, being face-to-face with the goddess Saloon.
Well, I was always with the party. They just kept ignoring me. I would show them things. We almost caught one of those hell frogs, and it was going to be so cool, and I was going to cook it up, but then they didn't seem impressed, so I just kind of like let it go. It then turned around and tried to kill me, but it's cool. I took care of it all by myself and caught up at the party, and Lux finally noticed me in the Hellfire engine, and we went up the infinite staircase, which is really cool. I've heard so much about it from the eldest, but not much experience with it. And then we got to meet Ratatuskers, and we are in front of one of the most famous goddesses of my home plane, and I am in awe of her beauty.
As you should be. As you should be. And let's talk about Odos's, what he recalls of the adventure, some of the decisions that he made, and what his current mood is being face-to-face with the gods.
Well, I think it was Strahd who kind of forced us to go try to help save the universe for something. We ended up in the World Tree, the plane Yggdrasil. I think the branches connect to all sorts of different planes. And we met some squirrel people. I think we had a choice of either meeting a bunch of trolls or some kind of powerful lady, and we picked the lady. My character, as a Githzerai, I'm all about Zerthamon, the ultimate Githzerai. And also the Githzerai are ruled by this guy, Menyar Ag, who's described in Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. Who's pretty cool, and he's like kind of like half dead and mysterious. And my character doesn't actually talk much about him, so. But there is a reason for that, and maybe we'll get to that someday.
So here's a question for is it Artium? Artium?
It's pronounced Artiom.
Artium.
So Art-E-Om.
Okay. We're going to begin the story with you. You are part of Saloon's heavenly entourage, descending beneath what appears to be a sky of silver water. You are in the high branches of the World Tree, and you are descending. Do you recognize any of these characters? Have you seen any of them before? And I have to ask.
I'm gonna say to make the transition a little bit from a player perspective, to make the transition a little bit smoother, maybe through some form of scrying and these guys dotting up all over the plains, that I don't know them personally, but Artion has definitely been viewing in, so to speak. They have definitely caught his attention, and he has been watching them from afar.
A thin silver being. Their flesh is completely silver. Their hair is that of starlight, and they are garbed in a deep midnight blue dress. As in, it's almost like if I had to describe it, like a Hindu male wedding gown. So this is a very elaborate attire. And he speaks in a very strong voice, and it is in a language that you understand. It is in the common tongue, and he speaks to the group, and he asks, "What brings you to the gates of the moon, and why desirest thou to enter the top?" Granted, the Ratatoskers were leading you here because they said the lady at the top would be able to help.
Shallot reaches into his coat and he pulls out his little index cards and he starts flipping through them. Greetings and salutations. My name is Shallot Wilbur Walla Walla Thaddeus Weatherfields. I am a emissary of the Citadel and one of the Council of 12. Beside me is my close companion, Ramsey, and we are here to stop extra-planar calamities. Don't mind him. He's a complete idiot.
Is there a calamity that is befalling you? And he kind of eyes across the group.
Well, the world we're from, absolutely. When we last saw it, it was being destroyed, torn into pieces. Actually, we were trying to find the person who caused it, and got redirected here, or rather, we got redirected to the giant staircase, and we ended up having to run through a door, which led us here.
Saloon's eyes flash blue momentarily, and she sort of motions to the man, and he goes, "Ah, yes. The lady says that the urban Leviathan, the Great Planar threat, the city of Dis, is hungering and is looking to devour the multiverse, which you call home, and it will need to be fed. there is nothing that can be done to prevent Dis from devouring. However, she feels it would be most appropriate to find something else for it to devour. And you are currently in a fortuitous state as your multiverse is being held in a planar stasis by some powerful force. And she kind of motions her hand, and he goes, yes. A wish that has been granted by one whose domain and authority exceeds our own.
Oh, like a super god. Exactly like a super god. Wait, what?
So, the city of Dis is trying to devour the prime material for all planes?
All of the entire Greyhawk multiverse.
So everything, all the planes.
There are multiverses minis, all 9 hells, the abyss, everything. This force is different than the realm of Dis that you might know in the hells. This is a great extra-planar threat that moves through all existence and devours and assimilates. And in a little less than 48 hours, your planet will be little more than an apartment complex within its intestines.
So we need to find something else for it to devour? Is that what she said?
He kind of looks up at her and she kind of nods, and then she motions her hand again in a celestial sign, and he goes, she is informing me that you need to place a false multiverse in place of your own and swap them out. Dis will devour the false one, and your existence will exist adjacent to it and still continue to thrive.
Charlotte uses prestidigitation to make like a chalk appear in his hand. He goes over to the bark and he starts writing equations, like quantum physics equations, and he has intelligent 18. He's pretty smart. And he's like, so we make a separate multiverse, like a fake multiverse, but we put it in a interplanar loop. So every time it is eaten, it replaces itself with another fake multiverse. This will continue to eat that, not being able to move on until he has devoured that. But since he's unable to devour that plane, he will stay there for eternity.
She kind of looks like, his math is flawed, but he's directionally accurate. So that's kind of the expression that you read on her face. But they say, so the question is, where are you going to come up with a multiverse to put in place of your own? Looney waves her hand, and what looks like almost like a old-timey gaming table, if you've ever watched, say, Acquisitions Inc. or some of these shows where they have an actual gaming table, and there seems to be different geometrical shapes in 3 dimensions placed about the gaming table. And one that is represents your own floats above the table and glows a light gold. That is you. You need to find another one to put in its place. These are facsimiles and emblems that represent all the different multiverses. And there's many spread about the table, various baubles, almost like children's toys, building blocks. The lady would like to know what you propose in order to... How are you going to create a multiverse?
If she's a god, why doesn't she do it herself?
Gods are very, very particular when it comes to creating multiverses. Some wizards, some beings have learned enough energy and the ability to manipulate aether, the energy between the multiverse, that they can create their own planes of existence. That's what the Citadel is. The eldest used all the aether that he could scrounge up and created his own plane for the Council of 12.
Once again, her glance looks as though, well, he's directionally accurate, but his math is still slightly wrong. So what they do is, she explains, she motions in celestial signs again. Her speaker speaks up and says, she cannot create a multiverse for you because she is awake. She would have to be dreaming in order to dream up a new existence.
Oh, of
You would
course.
have to find a sleeping god.
Well, we had a sleeping god and he destroyed our world. So.
Wait a minute. I just need to put the god to sleep. No problem. He reaches into his bag and he pulls out rose petals. Oh, wait. She seems a little tough. He's like, this is a dilemma. Either I gotta weaken you, Salune. I gotta maybe
I'm
throw.
going to put my hand down across his mouth.
I'm
I'm just going to cover his mouth.
And all they see is like a fireball, a small little fireball jump to one side, He's like, he's not gonna hurt. He's not gonna hit you with it. And put you
You'll have
through."
to excuse him. We didn't bring him. We don't know where he came from.
Shut
Shut up.
She motions and signs. Go ahead, Berlinda. I'll let you go first.
Here's my problem. If you seem to know the answer, which you do, why don't you just tell us instead of using someone else to talk for you?
She motions, and her interpreter speaks and says, if you wanted to hear her, you would. And that's what she says. If you wanted to hear her, you would. She senses you do not wish to hear her, so she will not speak.
Fair point. She's a little more observant than most gods I've dealt with.
You notice on the table, Odos, you notice this. There is a small purple marble that's starting to roll around on its own, and it's starting to pulse. It's starting to rise from the table, and it's starting to move erratically.
I'll just watch it and see if I can figure out what.
You hear a voice speaking to you deep within the recesses of your mind. And for a second, it feels like you can see all eternity. And then you see within your mind's eye a room, a flame, and then the sleeping visage of a being unlike any you have ever seen before. It looks like it is a being of pure pain, and it is asleep. And then you snack back to this current plane.
He snaps back to reality. Oops,
Okay.
there goes gravity.
Surreal.
I just said
surreality.
I have two horrible ideas. First, it's a god, right? Saloon is right here in front of us, right?
She is literally right here in front of you.
I feel like I have to try to probe her mind with detect thoughts just to see what it's like in the mind of a god, even though it might drive me nuts. So I'm going to use detect thoughts and go in there just to see what it's like.
Okay. It feels as if you are lying down. You notice you feel like you're floating on your back, perfectly still, on a pond of pure, warm, still water.
Wow.
And there are swans floating beside you. And then you feel a dark and icy creeping presence. And it feels as if there are claws tearing at you, and you hear the howl of a wolf. And then you feel that flee from you again, and you are back on the still pond. Then you see, she knows in her mind, she can see the same creature, the same sleeping god that you saw in hers, but she is scared to speak it to you However, she knows that's probably the only god that's sleeping right now.
Does Shallot notice that Odos is just like zoned out?
Do you? There's no roll involved.
I guess like since Brulinde just has her hand over Shallot's mouth, she's just gonna turn around and kind of like look at the rest of the table. He's like on the table. He's just
He
like
has
this
a-
little
he has this,
toddler
like-
on the table.
No, I was gonna say he has this like creepy stare at Odo. It's just like,
Hmm.
like a guy staring into the window of yoga class. Just,
Hmm.
Yeah.
He starts snapping in front of Odos's face. Brulinda, I think Odos is having adverse reactions to the berry. I think he's tripping out.
No, he does this sometimes.
Odo,
I'm
so you're
just
hearing
gonna-
him. Yeah.
I'm just going to kind of shake Odos a little bit.
Odo, so you're hearing a voice in your
I-
head. It is the voice of Seiluni. It's the voice pure that you can hear. She says she can send you to capture the dream of the god, if you wish, but it is a perilous journey across the astral sea
Ooh.
into the realm of Pluton.
I
And
always
she
get
has
worried every time Sean goes, ooh.
I know, right? He's a man after my own heart. Into the realm of Pluton, and there you will find a sleeping god. And this god sleeps, and she will give you a small flask made of pure moonlight. It will capture the dream, but you're going to have to convince it to devour. Essentially, this is Inception. She has an orb of Inception. You're going to have to stick it in the god's ear to make it begin to dream of this false Oerth, this false Greyhawk, and then capture that dream, and then bring it back and place it, swap building blocks. She has a building block of your multiverse on her table. You just need to swap them out.
I'm going to, once I snap out of it, I'm going to huddle up with the group. Although the sheep is the smart one, right? The gnome is kind of like the flunky. So I'll huddle up.
Well, Shallot is actually incredibly intelligent. They both are, but Shallot's more of a klutz.
Okay. So in our huddle, I'm going to exclude the gnome, but I'll include the sheep. And I'll tell you all everything I just saw. And then I'm going to say to Brelinda, she's a god. She could free Heinrich.
I don't think so. That's not what they said. They said an archdevil, and she doesn't look like an archdevil to me.
You're the talker. Can you ask?
I really don't want to talk to her, Odos.
We're saving the multiverse. The least she could do is save Heinrich. We can't leave him in that pillar.
Ramsey kind of fluffs up his little tuft of hair that he has. Don't worry. Ramsey Ramsden. He's got this. And he kind of like fluffs up his
Hold on.
his
All right,
voice.
hold on. I'm going to pull the sheep aside. You listen to me, man. This is not a joke. If
Don't
you're gonna
worry.
Try, better try.
I
Hear
will.
me?
I will.
Without him, we'd all be dead.
Don't worry.
He's trapped in hell. His soul belongs to Zerial. It's not right. So if you're gonna do this, do it.
We
Brelinda,
have
are
do-
you okay with the sheep doing this?
He can try.
We have dealt with this kind of for Shallot and I many of times. You know, trapped souls in hell.
No offense, we don't know you from anyone, okay?
You're right.
So this is
You
your
don't.
chance. Prove yourself to us. And I'm not saying make her do it. I'm saying make us proud trying to do it. Okay?
Ramsey kind of gives him a wink and he clops his little cloven hoofs up to Saloon. And he
I'm gonna
kind of
look at Brelinda and shake my head. Just
he bows deeply as deep as a sheep can, and he looks up to Saloon. We will do this to save the multiverse, but we ask for a favor in return if it's within your power, or at least some kind of or some information on how we could go about it. They have a friend named Heinrich who is trapped, and he needs to be freed. I don't know if that's within your power, but if you have any information that would help us find a way to free Heinrich, we will do that. We will go to this sleeping god, and we will save the multiverse for that information.
Okay. So as you say this, she pauses for a second. Her eyes flash blue, and then her voice speaks, meaning her interpreter. She motions a sign that is very, very soft, almost flowy. She says she knows not Heinrich, nor do you. And she says that to Ramses. You do not know a Heinrich. You have no friend named Heinrich. However, she says she can provide a key that will open the door should you find the door, and opening that door will release Heinrich. You will know that the key is the only thing that will leave with you. Now, she explains to...
hold on 1 second. So her speaker just said all that out loud?
Yeah, to Ramses.
Okay. All right, so at that point, Berlinda will actually step up next to Ramsey. He doesn't have a friend named Heinrich, but I do. And so does Odos, and so does Lux. So if you're needing some kind of proof of friendship or devotion or love for this, you can ask me.
She motions briefly, and her speaker says she is going to provide you the only thing she can provide, as Heinrich is bound by other gods. And his fate is bound to their domain, which is outside of hers. However, she can provide a token that will allow Heinrich's soul to be properly negotiated out of hell and into the prime material.
All right.
It's like a skeleton key for the cage that he's in.
Literally so.
All right. So all we have to do is a little sleight of hand with the multiverse. I mean, sounds simple.
Charlotte's still looking at all the things. Oh, so we take this block. Now, are these actual physical representations of the multiverse? If I take a block and I move it around, is it going to shift the multiverse?
Be very, very careful, Shallot.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. I kind of moved. Oh gosh, no, this is not where Faerun should go. Oh gosh, no. Oh geez. Oh, that's Kryn. Oh man.
This is one way to get Eberron back in the official setting release.
I look over and there it is. It's like this little marble tagged Eberron.
The interpreter speaks again and says, "Now, we will require a proxy in order to send you on your voyage, and you will require a pilot. We provide you Artyom, our blessed captain, who can see you across on your voyage, and he will allow you to select the vessel to make the trip. However, we will require her," and they point at Lux.
Oh, okay, hold on. I will do my best, Lux. What, me?
Sorry.
I mean, that's literally what she would say.
Now then.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and they motion.
Oh, I miss Ellie. Okay.
They look at Odos and they say, "Do we have a deal?"
Yeah. Yes, I guess so.
Then the deal is made. They snap their fingers, and you see Lux turns into a pillar of starlight. You can see her visage in there, and they explain, now, you're going to have to go quickly. You're going to have to follow Artyom, and you're going to need to choose a vessel. And this vessel will be your what you ride across the astral sea. So let me grab something for you guys.
Can we ride upon the weatherlight? Can we throw this back to MTG?
No,
Why don't we just bust out the spell jammer while we're at it? Go on then.
That's literally what we're doing right now. So I'll put some.
While Grant's looking, I am going to look at Saloon's speaker and say, no harm better come to her. I am very serious.
They explain that if you fail in your journey, you will if you fail in your journey, then she is lost, as are you all. For your multiverse will cease to exist. So no harm can come to her unless you fail.
All right.
And with that, let me. Here we go. So, come on, this. So, this is for the people at home. You're taken to a room that resembles something of the following, and you can see they're almost. It's almost like going into a game store. There's all these cool little spell jammers on many shelves, and they're small. You know, they're not full size, and they'd like you to choose your vessel for going across the astral sea. And you are to direct Artyom, and you can roleplay out the scene now of helping choose a vessel with Artyom.
Oh, this one that has the giant, oh, it looks like a giant ammonite. Oh, man.
Which one looks like a giant Armonite?
The Nautiloid?
That's a Mind Flayer ship.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah. Well,
shit.
I don't know. I don't know if my character knows that, but I mean, like, if we're going through the astral plane, there's going to be Githyanki, and if they see a Mind Flayer ship, we might be in big trouble. It is a cool ship, though. It is my favorite one. What do you guys want to take?
Ooh, this one drawn by dragons.
The dragon ship?
The dragon drawn longship. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, this is like picking your toy time, right? That's why I came up with it. Like, yeah, choose a cool looking ship, guys, because we're playing D&D.
Breland.
Is it going to get us from point A to point B?
Oh, it's like that. Yes, I mean, they all are. Which one did you want?
Well, then, children, choose your ship.
The Nautiloid. Yeah.
No.
It looks like a giant shell. And
I'm going to put my hand over Shallot's mouth again.
Do you see the freaking?
Odos already told you why we can't take that.
Yeah.
all right. What about the one that it kind of looks like?
Artyom, you would know best. Which ship would work for us?
I am with Brulinda. By the way, Captain Artyom de Winter at your service. I know you will not care much for me, but just so you know, I have been watching in on your escapades, so I roughly know who you all are. I am with Brulinda. It does not matter. Lux is in star column, and we need to get her out, and we need to get Greyhawk saved. So, I will defer to you. Pick your ship. All have same speed. We get there just as quick. I want to save your realm as much as you do your friend. I have been to Greyhawk many a time before I stayed here. It is a realm I favor, and it is a realm I wish to help.
All right. So, Shallot, you were saying the dragon-drawn longship, which I have never seen before, and it looks like a longship actually pulled by 4 dragons.
Yep. Oh, can I name them? That one's gonna be Bob. That one's gonna be Jerry, because I hate Jerry, and you look like somebody I'd hate.
He gives me a headache.
I guess so. I guess.
Yes, let's take the one with the dragons. Maybe one of them will eat the gnome.
Woo! Oh boy! We're going on an interplanar travel on a
The
dragon.
thing that we need to stick a thing into the ear of the sleeping god, right?
Yes,
Yes.
and Artyom has it.
Okay. All right. And we know that this sleeping god is in Pluton,
Yes,
and that's in the astral sea. Astral
that's
plane.
how you can get there.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Dragon
Let's
drawn
start
launch.
cracking the whip on our 4 dragons, and we'll head out, I guess.
And you know that Pluton is essentially akin to Hades, right? So you are going to travel to this particular realm of hell. You feel instantly you're transported. You're all on the ship. Artyom is at the wheel, and you are moving through this kind of multicolored void of magenta, fuchsia, chartreuse, violets, purples, which then sort of erupts and morphs into dark blues, oranges. You see the wreckage of buildings starting to appear and float. And with that, I need each of you to make a perception check, and that may reveal some more to you. There is no set difficulty number; it's just based on what you roll will reveal to you.
7.
Perception.
19.
All right.
24.
19.
Okay. You're all doing very well at not seeing anything except Rulinda. You're all essentially staying the course. Artyom is focused on sailing. Odos feels kind of like right at home in this environment. You know, there's something that feels very natural about this, especially this sort of planar travel. Meanwhile, Shallot is currently seeing the backs of his eyelids every time he blinks, and the whites of his eyes every time he looks around. And Rulinda, almost like Inigo Montoya in The Princess Bride, you happen to look behind you, and you see that your ship is being followed. It's being followed by a vessel that appears arachnid in form. It has very lean, long legs, 8 of them, kind of forward reaching, and it is closing in fast on your vessel. What do you do?
Artyom,
Yes.
were you bringing friends with us?
I will turn around and I will whip a look to where Belinda is looking at. I have much like my IRL hair, I have very long hair that whips around with that Eladrin grace. It's aquamarine in color, by the way. And I see the spider ship and I say, no. They are no friends of mine, but I do not think they are friends of anybody else for that matter.
Oh, side note, very important, and I forgot to ask because we got hustled onto the ship. Can I assume that we at least got reprovisioned while we
You
were
are
with...
reprovisioned and
Okay.
have all the benefits of a long rest. In that,
Okay, so we have water, food, etc., etc.
You're up.
Yay!
Yes. Haha. Okay. Odos, I might need you back here.
Okay.
You're from this. You're familiar with this plane. Do you know what that is?
Is this a Neogi Might Spider or
You
Do I know
haven't
what
seen
kind-
a vessel like this. If you had to guess, go ahead and make a history check or some other intelligence roll you feel would be appropriate. This is something that you may have learned through studying or heard stories.
I got a 5.
Can I make the same roll if I recognize the ship from out in the
Oh yeah,
sea?
you can as well.
History. 23.
Nice.
You know that these appear to be, we call them pirates out here, right? Steve Zissou style. This is essentially a group of Drow pirates. However, while the vessel looks very spider in origin, you notice that symbols and emblems of the Elder Elemental Eye have been carved all over, almost like vandalism, all over this vessel. And with that, the Drows are launching webs from their vessel onto your ship and are beginning to travel across the webs towards you. Let's all roll initiative.
22.
Good old 8.
Big fat 5.
I also got a 20.
Yeah, so here's how we're going to do it. We're going to zip, zap, zop. We are going to do Brulinda, Odos, Shallot, then Artyom. And we're going to do that when we get back from a break. Don't go away. We'll be back in 10 minutes time or 5 minutes time. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. And we are back in action, Looney Tunes style. So currently, when last we left our intrepid heroes, a drow vessel, Spelljammer, in arachnid form, had affixed itself onto our heroes' vessel that they are using to soar across the astral sea in, as they attempt to reach the realm of Pluton, known as Hades, where a sleeping god lies. With that, we're going to pick up with initiative, and we're going to begin with Brulinda. You see about 60 feet away, there are dark warriors. They have the, sort of obsidian skin and pure white hair, and they are very gracefully making their way across these webs, which are quite thick. You could probably run across them. They were created by, the massive vessel, and they are making their way across to board your ship. What do you do?
Kind of reminds me of the Eldar from the 40K universe.
That would be cool.
Okay. All right, so she sees them coming, and she knows that this is probably a long shot. Berlinda knows it's a long shot. Kelly's really wanted to use this spell for a while. So you said the webs are coming from their ship to ours?
Yep, and
That's how they're crossing?
Already.
I'm going to pick a point about, right as where no one is at yet, like as they're crossing. And I'm going to cast hallucinatory terrain. And make it look like the web has broken and there's just the astral sea. Like
and it totally works too. And like that group of attackers, they kind of stop, and they're completely taken aback by this.
Buy us a little bit of time.
Yeah. They're not going to make a 150-foot cube. So this actually fills up the entire webs. So all the dark elves are going to stop when they come to that, and it will buy you time.
Okay. And then I will turn to Odos and inspire him since I know he's next. All right. Dice are rolling, the knives are out. Would-be murderers are all around. I don't mean to alarm, but they'd each give an arm to see us 6 feet underground.
And you are now inspired, Odos.
D10.
Awesome.
So you now have that bardic inspiration at your disposal, and it is now Odos' turn.
I'm going to use a little bit of my movement and back up from the side, though, to get a little bit of distance.
Works automatically.
So how many drow are we looking at here? Are they? Right now they're
Looks
all
like
on the
8.
end.
Looks like 8, and they're trying to come across.
Just trying to come aboard our ship.
Yep.
And our ship is pulled by 4 dragons, apparently.
Yep.
Can I climb on one of the dragons, cut the reins, and then fly around?
You do that. So you climb out onto the dragon, and you are now on top of it. And it's like, all right, Odos, I've waited for this day. It will be our finest hour. And so you've cut through. And do you have any bonus actions you're going to do?
Odos, do a barrel roll.
Andros' enemy is our enemy.
The dragon sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here.
Kermit the Dragon here.
I'm going to, if I can, I want to fly and grab Brelinda and get her on, because we could fly off. We could just blow up their ship if you have any like fire spells or something.
I do have fire spells.
All right, so I'm gonna fly down and grab if I can.
We'll do the dramatic. He reaches his hand down, and I reach my hand up.
Totally works. Totally works.
I don't want to put you on the spot, Grant, but does this dragon have a name?
It does.
What's your name?
It's Bill.
It's Bill. No.
Vexalanthus.
Oh.
No,
Dang.
Bill's better.
You can call me Bill if you like, but I will be offended for all time.
In slow motion, if I can, I want to. What does Artyom look like?
Describe him to us.
He is 5'8", slim, slender, but slim and slender, but not exactly bone thin. As a matter of fact, you would see that he's actually got quite a hearty physique to him, quite a hearty constitution. He has a Very narrow eyes, blue in nature. Like I said, long aquamarine hair, more blue than green. I'm gonna add a little bit of flair to him. There's perhaps a touch of sun elf in his veins somewhere. There's some of that sort of like bronzeness to his skin, but he is definitely a ladrin. You can definitely tell because they have got the pointiest of pointy ears out of all the elven races, and he wears robes. However, as he works on astral ships, they're kind of tucked in. Well, the upper robes, two sort of like flaps underneath a nice looking shirt with Saloon's holy symbol upon it. They're kind of like tucked into a belt. On the belt is a scimitar strapped to his left hip with Saloon's holy symbol once again adorned at the top of the hilt. And he is wearing sort of like baggy trousers that allows him maximum flexibility. However, a color scheme of blue and silver, and the trousers are tucked into a pair of well-worn but in good condition black boots.
All right.
So I'm going to say to Brelinda, what do you think about him?
We're gonna cut over
like
to
Strahd.
Shout now. Yeah.
I'm still stuck on Strahd. I'm sorry.
Stuck on Strahd is this spin-off show.
He was too pretty.
So, are elves considered Fae? Because they have
Yes.
Fae ancestry.
Yes.
I am a Fey elf, as Eladrin are also known. Basically, we're the elves who didn't leave the Feywild originally. Artion's a bit different. He's a bit of an exception. But yeah, essentially, the Eladrin are the Fey elves.
Are
So
drow
here's
considered
what I'm
the same
gonna-
way?
Well, here's what I'm going to ask. Describe to me the goal of what you're trying to do, and I'm not going to
Magic
penalize you and say
circle.
that fails. So describe magic circle and its
Magic
effects.
Circle says choose one or more of the following types of creatures: celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead. The circle affects that a creature of the chosen type in the following ways: the creature can't willingly enter the cylinder by non-magical means. If the creature tries to use teleportation or interplanar travel to do so, it must first succeed on a charisma saving throw. The creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets within the cylinder. Targets within the cylinder cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed by the creature.
Here's kind of the way I would rule this. Is Fae a creature type in the monster manual? Meaning you look under the name of the creature and it says like a medium Fae, a tiny
It is essentially a creature. Elves are considered humanoid, but they
Yes.
have Fey ancestry.
Okay,
Right.
so it would not. So if Magic Circle would not
I
affect.
don't think it
elves.
could.
Okay, I just wanted to ask about that ruling because I was like, oh, I'll use Magic Circle to kind
However-
of trap them in.
Apart from that, no spoilers. Make an insight check.
Okay. Insight. There it is. 20. Dirty 20.
Alright. There's something not right about these drow.
Hmm.
And there may be some method to your madness with Magic Circle.
Okay. Well, I guess I would have to cast Magic Circle so many times that I keep on like choosing different types until one of them.
Well, here's what I would say. Cast it and roll me a percentile die.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, these things are still on the wire and they're coming onto the ship. They're coming towards the ship.
Yeah, they're currently delayed because they have to figure out Brulinda's deception, which may take them some time.
Okay, so if that's the case, I'm actually. Does one of them look like they're the leader, like the captain of the squad?
Your guess is one of them towards the back is the leader. She is wearing purple robes.
the person with purple robes, I'm going to look at and say, "You're not going to hurt my friends," as he casts Phantasmal Killer on her.
Okay. So go ahead and put that spell in roll 20, and
We-
will adjudicate.
We will cast that. Okay, let me first click it so it pops up in roll 20. It's asking if I want to cast it at what level. Let's cast it at 5th level for the funsies. And it's not coming up. Okay, so Phantasmal Killer. It says you tap into the nightmares of a creature you can see within range, and create an illusory manifestation of its deepest fears, visible only to that creature.
Yep.
The
And it
creature
needs
must
to
make a wisdom saving throw
Okay.
of DC 16.
Okay. So makes it.
Okay. So nothing happens.
No, nothing happens with that creature. Well, does nothing happen, or does it take half? Is there anything?
On a failed save, the target becomes frightened for the duration. At the end of each of its the target's turns before the spell ends, the target must succeed a wisdom saving throw or take 40 damage, psychic damage. On a successful save, the spell ends.
Okay.
So,
So
she's succeeded, so the spell never
Mhm.
started.
All right. So, Artyom.
How far away are they from me?
About 70 feet.
About 70 feet. All right. I'm going to move up to sort of like, let's say, from the helm position, I'll move up to the edge of the ship, but stay about 10 feet away from the barriers. So I'm 60 feet away from these guys. As I do, I'm going to draw my sword, and it will glisten in the moonlight as I start to spin and dance, almost like I'm doing a martial arts kata as I go into blade song. And as the spin and the rotations continue, you see fire emanate from the sword as it spins round and round and round, and then using the sword as a conduit and as a focus from a crystal that is also worn across my neck, whoosh, sonic boom style, I'm going to throw a fireball at these sons of witches and nail all 8 of them. So for my action, I'm going to cast Fireball.
All right. So they need to make a dex save.
Yep, and for the lols, I'm going to cast it at level 5.
All right. So what's the DC? They made a 14.
Yep, 14. So,
that's going to be 16 plus 2, 18 damage?
yep, half of 36.
Okay. You set 4 of them on fire when you land the fireball. And it seems to be slowing them down as they've caught flames. It is now their turn.
These ones have abandoned. I cannot be sure, but I think these ones have abandoned Loth for elemental evil. Be wary elemental attacks. And I just stand in a ready position.
The purple-robed individual in the back, kind of almost with an otherworldly grace, creeps up the webs and says, "You fools! She has deceived you all. The webs remain." And the other dark elves cross and attempt to engage. They're not able to engage Shallot. Oh, you didn't cast your circle, did you?
No. So if they want to engage, they can.
Yeah.
They
So
can engage me
to
too.
engage with you, to engage Artyom. So they're going to make some attacks on Shallot and on Artyom. So 23 and 15.
The 23 hits.
All right, it hits for 8 points of slashing damage, and then another one, 18 on Artyom.
Artyom is going to shield.
Okay.
So my AC is currently gone up to 23.
14 on Shallot.
As a reaction, the blade hits, strikes. It gets stuck into Shallot. Blood starts to spew everywhere, and they look like they've just won. They've just killed the gnome, and then all of a sudden it shimmers and puffs into a blue arcane smoke. And I'm going to use illusory self. Once per short rest, I can create a illusory duplicate of myself. And then as a reaction, I just make their attack miss.
Yeah, they miss you, and they're like, dang, we've been shallowed. And with that, it is Brulinda's turn. You're currently aboard the dragon.
Okay. So we do have Drow on the webs, and we do have a commander Drow like standing on the ship. Am I correct?
She has floated out to the front of the group and has pointed out that
The
this
webs.
is an
Okay.
illusion.
So would you say then that she and a bunch of those Drow are within a 10-foot radius?
I wouldn't say a bunch. I would say that her
A
and
few?
2 other drow are.
Okay. Her and 2 other Drow. So I'm going to do what I know Odos wanted me to do, and I will target her as the center and cast Flame Strike at level 5.
Ooh. Yeah, so she needs to make a dex save, and she's not great at those. She does not make it. She takes all the damages.
And the other 2 as well?
Oh, they die. Yeah.
All right, so we have 24 damage to her.
Mm,
That's 11 fire, 13 radiant.
good deal. Yeah, so that absolutely.
Now I'm going to turn and high five Odos. Yeah.
Okay, and then next it is Odos' turn. The dragon's like, where to, Odos?
All I want to do is just fly into the next position that works for her spell. So for my action, what I want to do is just take the dodge action. So that way if anybody attacks us, they have disadvantage.
Okay.
I don't know if I can do that with my dragon, or I don't know.
You can do that.
Okay.
Your dragon can also dodge, so you're in position. And with now, right about now, we're going to it's Shallot's turn.
Okay. This how many drows are in front of me?
4.
4?
There are 4 within range of a 20-foot radial attack.
He is. Let's cast another spell, and he's going to cast Sleep at the 5th level. So we'll do that. Sleep, and we'll cast it at level 5. And then did it roll it? 2d8. Okay, so creatures within 20 feet of a point of view choose. So he's going to choose one of them, and then 20 feet around that. Starting with the creature who has the lowest health.
I think so.
It
You're essentially
didn't spell.
doing. What level did you cast it at?
At level 5, so it's 5d8 and 2d8
like-
for each level.
Yeah.
So
Quick question: do you have sleep under your attack macros? Because sometimes it puts it there, and you can click it, and it'll roll the dice for you.
no, it's not for some reason. So I could
Yeah,
do this. So
That's
5,
like
and
98,
then
right, or more than that. It's like a lot, right?
let's see. So it's a first level. So 2d8 for level 2, 2d8 for level 3, 2d8 for level 4, and then 2d8 for level 5. So that's an additional 8d8.
Wow. So 13d8.
So 13d8.
Nice. I love that.
But can they? Oh no, I gotta play fair. Can they be sleeped? They're elves.
Oh shit.
No, they're not.
They have-
You
they have
No, guys. Shallot already incited them. There was something wrong with the elves.
Ah,
Yeah, there's something wrong with them.
63 points.
Yeah, they're all down, and that's probably the trigger. These are not elves; they are asleep. And
Guys.
as they go unconscious, you notice they start to shift into creatures of a bizarre origin. It's hard to make out exactly what they are. One of them looks like it might be a Cambion, sort of like a creature of hell. It's hard to make out exactly what they are.
Jeez. Guys. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
That is one way to make them feel drowsy. Now, why? Now, the question is, Charlotte, why? Why the drow?
I don't know. I could probe their mind.
No,
But-
you wake them up.
I like how he does that with his
Well, I got rope.
all the way.
And you know what we could do with rope? And he starts tying all the drow up, kind of like Spider-Man style, where he ties them all around the light post.
Yeah.
And then he's going to look at one, and he's going to try to read their mind with detect thoughts. But if I have to wait, I will.
You see in your head, in your mind's eye, a dark room. You see I'm going to put this on the overlay. You see a building unlike any other that you have seen in your existence. And let me pull it up because this doesn't want to work. I'm going to put this on the overlay for people. So you see this building, and then I'm going to send that to... Is there a Discord you all are in? Let's use Greyhawk channel, and we're going to use one-sided conversations just because I'm not in every channel as everyone else. No one with OCD arranged this Discord, I promise you. I'm just kidding. So yes, let me put this up.
Oh, okay.
So in one-sided conversations on the Greyhawk Discord and on the overlay, you see a building such as this. And also adding to the overlay, you then feel your spirit go into that edifice, and you begin to feel deep pain within your soul. And after your
I'm
spirit
surprised gnomes don't
travels-
have souls. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you start to see a creature before you. It's slumbering, but you can see that although it slumbers, it has a waking presence on a different plane. So I'm also putting that in one-sided conversations. And this is the same creature that Odo saw in his vision that is within Pluton. So these are the thoughts that you're seeing within your mind's eye as you detect the thoughts of these dark creatures.
Shallot, if he's going to start feeling pain in his soul, I feel like that would trigger a response that him in the actual reality would start kind of screaming and whinging in pain. And he's going to try to... He's never seen this being, or he's never seen anything that would be described as this.
No.
Okay.
Maybe
He's
in a
got-
book while studying. In fact,
Yeah.
you remember stories that you've heard in taverns.
Okay.
You've heard stories about people's souls being ripped out of their bodies, them being sucked into dark death traps and never returning. A lot of adventures with a lot of pain. Most of what they've talked is gibberish, but you're getting the same feeling and overtone as your mind sees this. It's connected.
Shallot's going to end the spell, and he is going to take the collar of the drow that he read the mind of, and he's going to start smacking it awake, like with his quarterstaff. He's going to start beating it.
Okay, well, we're going to skip to RTM
Yep.
now just because it's been long enough. Yeah, but you're
Mhm.
waking them up. Okay, so RTM, you've got stacks of drow kind of spread across the floor of your ship. You have kind of the alpha drow matronly figure coming across, floating with an ethereal step over the webs, and you have your friends on a dragon.
I just quickly want to say to the not drow coming across the bridge, do you serve him then? The one who
him.
sleeps, or partly sleeps.
We serve another. He has something we want.
Oh, and you see the most wickedest smile come across my face, and I just say, ha, that fool has been getting his butt kicked recently all over the multiverse. And then I raise the hilt of my sword up towards her. The holy symbol is gonna glow, and I'm gonna smash her in the face with a guiding bolt. By the power of Selûne, take this to the face.
Okie dokie. So, let's do this. So, guiding bolt. Oh, let me pop in the right book. So
24. It's a ranged attack, Grant. 24 to hit, 120 feet range, 4d6. 4d6 damage at level 1. Makes the target glow, so the next attack against them has advantage.
This creature goes up to armor class 26.
Really? Wow.
Based on its armor class, its mage armor, and its shield. Natural armor class, mage armor, and its shield. That's as high as it goes. I know it kind of sucks, right?
Yeah.
No.
Reaction.
I'll.
No, think about how this looks in the fiction, where it's like the perfect shot, and then just prime evil itself blocks it.
Oh yeah, and for this character, because you wanted someone serious-ish, but this is still an Eladrin, so he's still a little bit mad.
Mm-hmm.
That smile is actually just gonna increase across his face. For once in his long life, he feels he has a challenge.
All right.
Then come then, servant of the Whispered One.
All right. And with that, it's its turn, and a cloud kill forms around it. And it is moving into the midst of you. So Shallot and Artium, on the start of their turn, will need to deal with that cloud kill they're going to be trapped inside of. And it is now Brulinda's turn.
Nah.
I hold my breath.
Nah, if she's gonna use her reaction, I'm gonna use mine. I'm gonna counter spell her.
At what level?
5.
All right. She decides to counterspell your counterspell. No, she used her
No,
reaction.
she's used her reaction.
Yeah. That's why you play with people from England.
Got you for once, mother trucker. Got you for once.
So yes.
That was for Castle Ravenloft.
You stop. I forgot about that adventure. Oh man. Well, when that happens, I need you to make a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. What? She still has an action from after the cloud kill.
Well, there's legendary actions.
Oh, she's legendary.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I need you to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Sure.
Yeah, you counterspell it, and then
22.
you kind of see this creature, and you, you make it, and you notice as its false appearance kind of drips from it, and you can see the undead arcane form of a lich kind of creep across and is in your midst. And with that, it is Brulinda's turn.
Okay, so the lich didn't actually move over. She just sent
No, the lich is actually over there. It's in the midst of your friends now.
Oh, shit. All right. So I guess if I can't do flame strike because it's going to get them because they're going to be within the 10-foot radius. Am I correct?
One of them might be.
Man, that's when you want to take a point in sorcerer so you can get the meta magic that says you can form that around them.
All right, fine. I will then
Fart out of your mouth. No.
Very angry. You've made me very angry.
What's the save on Flame Strike?
16.
No, what type of save?
I wouldn't know that. Don't tell me, please.
Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon.
I guess I'm just going to firebolt. Take a firebolt. At
That
them.
works.
26 to hit.
Totally hits. You do
Okay.
damage. 15 points of damage. Like 26 points of damage. That's a great firebolt.
Yeah, 15 points of damage.
That's great.
There's a good cat.
Yeah, so you damage
What would be that?
that lich up with the firebolt, and he is firebolted in his her horrifying visage. And with that, it is Odos's turn.
Okay, so there's a lich on the ship, and our allies are right around it. And then, are there other dark elves? Are they all asleep
There's
or something?
4 more. No, there's 4 more, and then there's stacked up asleep on the ship. The other ones, they got Brulinded. There's one more that was fleeing back to its vessel.
So really, the only threat right now is the lich,
Yes, that is the solitary threat right now.
and she tried to cast a counter cloud kill, but it was counterspelled. Is
Yeah.
the sheep in melee with the lich?
It's close enough. All right, you're not gonna mount the sheep and then charge into battle. Typical Sean McGovern move.
No, I think for this one, I feel like everybody's doing fine, and maybe I should just, Brelinda, do you know what you're going to cast next? Like, how far away should we be?
Don't take me into account. I'll figure out something to do.
I'll just keep dodging and whatever.
I mean, I'm just.
I think it's a good idea for some of us to be spread out, so that way if those two go down or get hit with something, we won't.
I mean, the only thing I can think of, Odos, is you do your little zappy that you like to do.
What's? Hey, wait! Does this dragon have a breath weapon?
Yes.
Well, I mean, could it hit the lich without hitting our allies?
No.
All right, I'm just gonna stay up there, and I kind of like just dodging for now and jumping in if it seems. They seem like they're doing pretty. You're all doing pretty good. I kind of like flying the dragon, so I'm just gonna fly the dragon around. Whee!
All right, I need Zippy and Mark. Your characters are Tiam and Shallot need to make Constitution saving throws.
Okay.
That's not good, Zippy.
24.
All right. Yes. So, Shallot, you take 21 points of necrotic damage as you feel your life being disrupted in your within your heart, and the presence of the lich is killing you just by having it being near. And it is now your turn.
Knowing that she's a lich, he's going to cast Magic Circle around her, calling undead, because most liches are undead. And he's going to, as I can, normally you create the Magic Circle and nothing of that choice can come in, but you can also invert it, so you trap it in a 10-foot cylinder that goes 20 feet up and down. So when he does that, he'll then move away outside of the cloud kill.
The cloud kill got counterspelled.
Oh, okay. Oh, what is the thing that's making me roll Constitution?
Oh, that was a disrupting life.
Oh, that's a disrupting life. Okay, well,
Yeah.
he's going to just put the thing and he's going to move away from her. His full speed, which is 25 feet.
All right, it's our TM's turn.
Right. Let's see. Okay. Seeing that she is a lich. Could be something similar.
David?
Okay. Bonus action. I am going to cast a second level magical weapon and pump that into my scimitar.
Mm-hmm.
And then for my main action, I am going to bring down the blade. As I do, the magic weapon ignites into a burst of green flame.
Green flame. Sorry.
So +1 to what I roll here because of magic weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So miss at AC
Yeah.
at AC 12.
Yeah, that's not going to hit. Do you have any other bonus actions on your turn?
No, I used it to cast magic weapon.
All right, Lich's turn. It looks up and its eyes meet that of the dragon, and the dragon is now under the effects of a dominate monster spell. I made these rolls, and so that dragon is now under control of the Lich, and a voice is in the dragon's head that says, "Go back," and the dragon is leaving the group and flying. And it is now Brulinda's turn, so the dragon's taking off, headed down. You guys are on top of it. You're still over the web and the ship of the drow. You could dismount the dragon, or you can try to deal with it.
Odos is my size, right? In medium?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to notice that the dragon is turning and doesn't seem to be, as chatty-catty with us as it was. I'm going to grab Odos's hand and dimension door us down onto the ship.
You do that. You're now down onto the ship.
Counterspelled.
No.
No, I don't have counterspell.
No, I was gonna say the Lich isn't counter.
Bye, guys.
Door. No. It is now Odos's turn. You are now down near the Lich.
Okay, so we're down there. I guess I'll go run up and try to punch this thing. It is a very high AC. Is that the story?
And remember, you have
Sometimes
bardic inspiration.
circumstantially.
You still have your inspiration.
When the
Okay.
Lich takes damage, there's a chance that its concentration is broken. When the Lich has already used its reaction, there's a chance that it cannot use its reaction to cast shield. There's different things.
All right, so I'll run up and I'll make an attack, and I get an extra D10 to this, right?
Mhm.
So I'll roll my attack. So let's see, fist.
Yeah, you hit that guy.
Oh, 26. All right. All right. So then I do, let's see, whopping 4 damage, and it counts as a magic weapon if that matters. And I think I'll burn a key point and try the stunning strike.
Yeah.
So it needs to make a con save, I believe.
Right. It's
If
going
it
to attempt to
can
do
be
that.
stunned.
It will attempt to do that. So what's the DC?
16.
It makes it with a 25.
Ah, okay. Second attack with my fist. 10.
No.
Even if I add the D10, it's not going to matter, right?
It might, depending on how high you roll. You wouldn't have a great chance.
might.
You'd have a 30% chance of hitting him.
All right, let's see. Roll. What is it? Wait, slash roll. 1
Slash R 1d10. Yeah, you hit him.
7, so
He has a
17.
17 this
Oh,
round.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so I do another 4 damage,
Mhm.
and another
the bank.
stunning strike. I'll burn another key point. Give that a try. So it needs to make a con save.
All right.
C16.
I was running a adventure for 16th level characters, and the monk was stunning striking the dragons that the kobolds were flying on. The dragons were like dropping out of the sky. It was great. 23.
All right, that's gonna be it for me.
All right. And it is now Shallot's turn.
Shallot. Oh boy. Would she have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws since she cannot move outside that circle?
only if the spell says she has
Oh, no.
disadvantage.
Okay. No, she wouldn't. But I wouldn't understand. She's stuck in one place, and how would she
It's an
dodge a
abstract,
fireball?
though. No, it's an abstract though, right? So
Yeah.
there may be reasons why it can't hit her.
How far is everyone away from this thing?
You are all within 20 feet. So if it's at the center, you are at least 20 feet out, but you're not 30 feet out.
He is going to cast Fireball at 3rd level and target behind her.
All right, she counterspells the fireball at 3rd level.
Okay.
But that uses her reaction. Do you have any other bonus actions or anything else you're doing?
No, unless she wants to get into combat with me and then move out so I can cast another spell as a reaction. But yeah.
She's going to attempt to shoot you with a ray of frost.
Okay. Do I have to make a constitution against that? Or save? I'm sorry.
I believe it targets your armor class. So let me double check. Oh, yeah, she's very good at targeting you. So 27 to hit.
Yep.
23 points of damage.
Okay.
Base damage. So she ray of frost you, and it is now Artyom's turn. That was her legendary action.
All right. Let's see. What am I going to do? Let's have a look at this. Right. Seeing how fast she is, what I am going to do is I'm going to use my bonus action, and I am going to cast at 2nd level. I am going to cast a spiritual weapon.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to appear next to her.
That clocks her.
For the record, the spiritual weapon is something he has over the steering of this spelljammer, a lute. So it's going to be an image of his lute as he smacks her in the head for its 2nd level. For 11 force damage, I make her feel the force. And then I am going to follow up with another, because it is a cantrip, I'm going to follow up with another green flame to the face.
All
for
right.
22.
That'll hit.
And so she'll take... Okay, because of his spiritual weapon is not concentration, so I've still got magic weapon up. So it's 10 points of slashing damage, magical, and 6 points of fire damage.
All right. So, yeah, this Lich has seen better days, and it decides it's going to cast Magic Missile at 9th level. No, I'm just kidding. And it plane shifts away. The Lich is no more. The Lich is gone. As is one of your dragons.
Let me double check that in Magic Circle. She must succeed a charisma saving throw of 16 to do so if she wants to.
Charisma saving throw?
Yeah. If a creature tries to use teleportation or interplanar travel to do so, it must. Yeah.
Doesn't work. Nat 1. She's stuck.
Oh, I'm sorry, my
It is
dear.
Berlinda's
Did you
turn.
think you were going somewhere?
She goes, I'll kill you now. And, yeah, so it is now Berlinda's turn.
No, you kill him first, please.
Okay, so I'm going to run over to Shallot, and as much as it pains her to do so, and in fact, she actually looks physically pained having to do this, she is going to cast Cure Wounds on him at level 2. It's 10 healing. To give you something back.
Thank you there, man hands.
Right. Does she have any bonus action she's doing? Yeah.
Do I have any bonus actions? Bonus actions, bonus actions. Vicious Mockery is not a bonus action, so no.
All right. It is now Odos' turn. Currently
All right,
punch
I'll just
fighting the
try.
Lich.
Punching this Lich a few times. Nice. There we go. Punch number 1.
Yeah, that hits.
23. All right. I got 7 damage, and I would like to use a key point. Stunning Strike needs to make a Constitution saving throw. DC 16. It has a plus 10, so it needs to roll a 6 or higher, unfortunately.
20.
No. All right, I'll try another punch. 18. Is that it?
18 hits this round. Yeah.
6 damage and 1 more key point, 1 more stunning strike.
29.
Oh, it keeps rolling high. Okay, that's it for me.
All right. It is Shallot's turn.
Shallot is going to cast. Let's see. He's going to cast Mirror Image,
You do
and as he does,
you are now 3 Shallots.
3 Shallots.
Yeah.
Woo! And they all start
No!
running around.
The
They're
Lich
all
commits
just going to start
suicide.
running around
Yeah.
in like other things. Oh,
They
he
occupy
starts
the same
playing.
space as you.
They start doing the what's that one game where you have a ball, you have 3
Katamari
cups.
Damacy. Yeah.
Well, no, you have a ball and you have 3 cups, and the cups start switching.
Oh,
You got to
the ball
remember.
cups. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know that.
they start doing that, and they just kind of go like, yeah, every time they stop.
Oh no.
And
All right.
Berlinda's just muttering, I should not have healed him. I should not have healed him.
Any other bonus actions on your turn?
No.
All right. It is now Artyom's turn.
First thing I'm going to do, I saw the reluctant healing from Belinda. Still sees a little bit banged up. Or sorry, Zippy. Charlotte, male or female?
Shallot is a male.
Thank you. All right. Bonus action. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's see. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna bonus action healing word. Charlotte at third. Yeah, go on then. At 3rd level. Now there's more jank to come on top of this because I'm a life domain cleric. So you take back 7 plus the spells level, which is 3, plus another 2 on top of that. So you take 7 plus 5 worth of healing.
Woo! All the Shallots start kind of doing a little dance.
And then I am going to, once again, green flame to the face because I'm a nice, polite Eladrin like that. No.
Nope. Any other actions on your turn?
Nope, holding the line.
So it points its finger at Artyom. 55 points of damage. Finger of death.
I'll counter spell. My
Finger of
reaction's
death
still
is
there.
8th level.
Hey?
I think it's 8th level.
5th level's finger of
7th
death.
level.
7th
7th
level. He's still going to have a go. So
okay, so you're going to attempt to counterspell one at a higher level.
yeah, so basically what I have to do is I have to basically roll a
10 plus the cell. Yeah, so you need a higher than a 17. 17 or higher.
yeah, so I'm going to have a crack at it. There goes something. 22.
Nat 20.
Natural.
And I'm not going to be
Wow.
a douche and be like, it counterspells your counterspell. No, I like you doing the cool thing. Where
This
he
isn't
fingers
Magic
at
the
death
Gathering.
in like the Shield of Selûne itself, whatever that is, Shield of Selûne, just a moon appears in front of you and like repels all the undead, all of the necrotic energy that comes out of its finger, and it just looks dumbfounded because it's trapped. Its best Sunday punch has been deflected, and with that, it is now Brulinda's turn.
All right, so I assume that Artyom is within 10 feet because he smacked her in the face with his sword. So at that point, I will cast Firebolt.
That hits.
Okay. It's 8 damage.
Okay. 8 points of damage to the Lich. Do you have any bonus actions?
Not right now.
All right. The Lich uses a legendary action to reach out and attempt to do paralyzing touch on Artyom. 27 to hit.
That's gonna hit even with the
All right.
shield.
So make a you take 10 points of cold damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Cool. Okay, I'll just deduct the 10. Constitution saving throw. 13.
You do not make it. You are paralyzed for 1 minute, so that is like the next 10 rounds or something like that.
Okay.
You can make the save again at the end of each of your turns. And with that,
not a problem.
it is Otis' turn.
All right, it's still up.
Yeah, barely. It tried to escape with its life, but it was trapped by Shallot.
Punch number 1. I missed. Punch number 2.
That hits.
22. I do a cool 8 points of damage, and then stunning strike. Con save DC 16.
All right. 20.
Wow. And that's it for me.
All right. It is Shallot's turn.
Shallot is going to attempt another Phantasmal Killer at base level, so level 4.
Okay. And the effect of Phantasmal Killer, you're attempting to frighten it. It needs to make a save. I know it does damage.
It needs. I
What type of
just
saving
clicked
throw?
it. It is a Wisdom saving throw.
All right.
Most illusions do Wisdom.
Yeah, so I'm going to do this. Okay, yeah, its modifier's not as high as I thought it was. I believe it makes it.
Yeah.
You also notice, and through lore, you know that liches are immune to being frightened. So
It was more for like the psychic punch to the
Yes.
to the noggin.
yes,
So
I get that, but yeah, important to note that
Mhm.
it has made its save.
okay.
Any other bonus actions?
No.
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw there, Artyom.
Sure. 15.
No, not enough.
Nah.
And it's going to attempt to plane shift again. No, it can't. It doesn't have a high enough. No, it could. It can use a higher spell slot to cast that spell. So it needs to make, you said, a Charisma saving throw, and it has to be to 15. Was it?
For
We'll find out.
16.
It doesn't make it.
16.
So it fails to plane shift.
I didn't know it
again.
was trying to move again. So yeah,
No,
it
it's
was
trying
16.
to get out of there. You know, it doesn't
Yeah.
want to be here because it's losing the fight. And it is now Berlinda's turn.
Firebolt.
You hit it. 7 points of damage. It's getting whittled down. And all right.
Don't look
And
at chat. Don't look at chat.
That
Not allowed.
matters. That matters. You're not allowed to look either then. That's fair. I was intentionally not using those early on because I wanted it to feel more dramatic. Then I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot they have those. So now it is Otis' turn.
God, they have legendary resistance. Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right. I do a flying knee. Or
To be fair, this is not a full like DC 21 Lich because you guys are like 10th level characters, right? And although they are fairly easy-ish to kill, it's not fair to run a full powered Lich. It just has too many toys. So,
Yeah.
I rolled a 22 to hit. I believe that hits. and I do 9 damage, and it has to make a con save for my stunning strike. DC 16.
Makes it 23.
No. All right, second try.
You hit
19
him.
to hit. I do 5 damage and 1 more stunning strike.
All right. And, all right. So, 29.
Man. All right, that's it for me.
It's just not the move to get it. And it's going to use a cantrip. It's going to cast Ray of Frost on Zippy.
Mm-hmm.
24 to hit.
I'm gonna roll a d20, and it hits one of the mirror images, and it poofs.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like, yeah, it poofs and it's like
It freezes like and then it shatters.
Now here's a question: the Lich has true sight. Would it be able to see through illusions?
Oh shit! Yeah, if it
Yeah,
has
it's one of
if it
these
has
things.
true sight,
I'm waiting
I didn't
for
know.
chat to be like, yeah. Well, it's how it knew it was an illusion. It was like, guys, this ain't our thing.
Mhm.
All right.
So I'll just take the damage if that's the case, because if it has true sight, it would be able to target me regardless.
27 points of damage.
Okay.
Cold damage. And I believe it is your turn now.
Hold on, I'm trying to do the math. It's 37. Okay. Fireball again. Going to cast it so when it flies and explodes, it's going to explode to where it hits the Lich, and we're not in the 20-foot radius.
It'll hit RTM.
Oh,
you're trying to do it far enough back. I get what you're saying. You're trying.
yeah.
To
So like,
do it.
if he throws it up and it explodes 20 feet, it
here's the
tows
thing,
it.
though. Here's the thing, though. And the Dungeon Master's Guide has great resources for abstract combat when you're dealing with groups of people and you're not using minis. It's going to be very difficult to hit just that Lich, because if we think about fictional positioning, Artyom and Odos are both engaged with him.
Okay.
We might be able to make an argument that you can just hit the Lich, and here's how we're going to do that. We're going to roll a 20-sided die, and we're just going to 50-50 it.
Okay.
If 11 or higher, they're not going to be hit. So 11 or higher, they won't get hit. So you can go
Okay.
ahead and roll damage.
Yay.
I totally forgot that they're engaged in combat. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I don't.
And normally I'd be like, yeah. You do one of those things.
Well,
you
I
just
mean,
lob it
a
little
monk.
further out and it'll catch them, but there's multiple people engaged with them.
I've had monks as like fireball, and then the monk's just like, I'm just gonna stay there because I don't.
I'm a monk.
I have a. Yeah, I'm a monk. So it's gonna be fireball at the 4th level. And we will cast that
It
right
counter
here.
spells.
Okay.
Yeah. And go ahead, make me a Constitution saving throw there, Artyom.
First things first, I actually need to make 2 because I took damage. So I need to see if I hold up my spiritual weapon. So
Can
first
you
things.
maintain concentration when you're paralyzed?
Oh no! Forgive me. Spiritual weapon is not a concentration spell.
Right.
So
But
just
okay, yeah. So it would still be there. You just can't command it if you're paralyzed, I assume. Unless
no,
you
I
have an
wouldn't.
ability that lets you. There's some really weird areas where it's like, well, I can't do this.
I'm gonna say for this fight, no.
Okay.
So con save. Natural 1, 9.
All right, you retake all the damage. The Lich, burning through its spell slots, is going to attempt to exit the plane once more. And this time it's going to use its legendary resistance and get out. And it leaves, but as it sort of leaves this plane of existence, there's a feeling as your ship, the surroundings around it change in the astral sea, and you find yourself on in the dead realm of Pluton before a building in the visage of a skull. And your Spelljammer almost feels like, what is it, Willy Wonka when he says, "Stop the boat!" It's just like, and you're there. It's just kind of this awkward, jarring feeling emerging from the astral sea and being here. What do you do? There's a large opening. There is a storm that has formed above it.
Before you go in, you should know what you are up against. That lich was a servant of someone who you know or know of from Greyhawk very well. He is known as the Whispered One. He is known as Vecna.
No.
Do not worry. Vecna is not in this thing. It's just what's in there. The sleeping god has something that belonged to Vecna. Let me tell you something. Has any of you heard of the one, a old friend of Vecna's, actually? Has any of you heard of the one known as a Surlak?
No. I've heard of Cass.
I don't know.
The sword and whatnot.
Would we know anything about that?
I don't know. Make a history check.
Tomb of Horrors.
I was gonna say, like,
The Demi-Lich.
it's a
Natural
name that
20.
There's a very
Ooh.
good chance you know. You've heard the name, you haven't seen him. You've heard that he's essentially some sort of designer of death traps. There was this ancient wizard, very powerful. The wizard became a lich, and then it became the Demi-Lich.
Okay. So I'll just say, well, I know he's bad news.
Recently, he has been stirring up trouble in the land of Cholt and the world of Talil. One of his forms, a god golem form, the golden god golem form, is residing in there, and he has Vecna's eye.
That is very bad news.
Be very careful.
Well, I think if we are waiting outside for a moment, I think it wouldn't be bad if we at least took a short rest of some kind.
I'm with you.
You can all
that
have the
entire
benefits of a
fight
short rest.
Okay.
has been, oh my goodness, it was
You
so.
received the benefits of a short rest as you came out of the astral plane into the plane of Hades. That's how we justify it fictionally.
All right.
That encounter was so riveting to watch. I especially loved how it almost killed Shallot. It was wonderful.
So we're going in there. Is that the deal?
Yes.
Of course, we have to
Sleeping
save the
furiously.
multiverse.
We got to stick that thing in his ear.
We have to go stick that thing in his ear.
All right, let's go stick that thing in his ear.
All right. You enter a
Sounds so
setting
bad.
that is familiar to fans of Dungeons and Dragons across the
Q-tip.
past 44 years, right? So you emerge into the entrance of the dead, dark, abandoned tomb of horrors. And deep within this tomb, there are no traps. They've all been set off. There are figures that seem to move in the shadows, just barely out of sight. And deep within this tomb, you find on a massive stone bed a huge form covered in spines, garbed in the dead flesh of the gods themselves. Nero, Hades himself, vampire lords. There are all those that have ascended and died make up the flesh of this creature, which at all times has an always opened otherworldly eye in its skull. And all the while you see this, you feel the forms of shadows watching you. What
Shall
do you do?
Shallot, don't you think about it. But that eye, so much power in the single eye.
Charlotte, do I need to knock you out?
No, I just wanna procure that eye for reasons.
If you make an attempt to touch it, I will knock you out.
I just, I gotta look.
It's not what
after
we're
me.
here for, Charlotte.
Yeah, we're here to get the dream, but that doesn't mean we can't window shop.
That's the ear ball.
RTM.
RTM has it.
Yes,
All right,
I will.
let's.
I'll produce it.
You're coming in with us, right? You're in there
I-
with us.
I am with you all the way.
Who among us is stealthy? Any of us?
I have proficiency in it.
I am Blade
And you might need to
Singer.
be good at sleight of hand to insert.
I am Blade.
I am also proficient in sleight of hand.
I
I'm
am
a
Blade
bard!
Singer.
Awesome.
Hmm.
All
I am
right.
Blade Singer, not Stealth Master.
Okay, so we'll.
All right. I'll hold my hand out. I'll hold my hand out to RTM to take the little ear ball, and I will make a. Do you want me to do stealth or sleight of hand, Grant?
Well, describe to me how this looks in the game. So, as you approach this god golem, which bears the ancient skull of Asarak upon its neck, are you moving cautiously or quickly?
Cautiously. I would definitely move cautiously to. Because I don't know that there's no traps left, even though you told me. Berlinda doesn't know. So she's going to move very cautiously.
No, Berlinda does know. Here's why.
She does?
You know, because I assume the party at all times, anytime it would be appropriate, you would check for traps, and you guys looked and there were none.
Okay.
So
All right.
you know that.
So I would still move carefully because I don't want to wake him up. And then as gently as possible, like pinball wizard that shit right into his ear.
Okay. I need you to make a dexterity arcana check. So your dexterity modifier in your arcana proficiency.
So make an arcana check and add my dex mod. Yes?
Dex mod plus arcana proficiency. That's the only way I can describe it. You roll a 20-sided die and add those two numbers, just because I don't know how the macros program will roll 20.
So d20 plus. All right. Hope I'm doing this right. And do I add my proficiency bonus along with that dex because I am proficient in it?
You're proficient in arcana?
I'm proficient in dex. Not proficient in dex, you know what I mean.
Yeah, so let me look at your character and just make sure I get
Just
this
tell me,
right.
yeah. I've never done this
I
before.
figured I'll look at it. Yeah, this is one of those Jeremy Crawford's skill variants, which are fun to do, where you use different skills with different ability scores. And in this case, she is doing something dexterously and using her dexterity modifier, but she's also doing something that requires arcane magic in order to get it in there. So here's how we're going to handle this. Go ahead and roll with advantage 1d20 plus 2. I assume you're being assisted by RTM here.
Okay.
Definitely.
In one shape, form, or another. Not one. Roll the other die.
Are you
4.
serious?
All right.
A 1 and a 2?
Okay.
The god golem's eyes.
That's
open
not fair when I'm.
in its math.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, that's not exactly. Okay.
All right. So, RTM, what do? You know the god golem is awake now, or rather, its eyes are open. You're not sure if it's awake or not.
Okay. Let's see. Can I quickly, if I'm with her, can I quickly take back the device and make an attempt at it myself?
Yes.
All right. So it's an Arcana check with my dexterity modifier. So, right. So basically, that would
With advantage as well, because you guys are helping each other.
Okay, so that would be 1d20 plus 3 for me. Do I have my proficiency bonus of +4 because I am trained in Arcana?
Yes.
Okay, so that is 1d20 plus 4, 5, 6. Excuse me, plus 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1d20 plus 7.
Twice with advantage, yeah. So, which of you, Charlotte or Odos, is going to be ready with the container that you were handed by Saloon's servant to collect the dream? First one's not good enough. Second one is. So you've incepted the dream into Asarak, the Golem god's mind. He's now dreaming of an alternate Greyhawk, and one of you needs to capture it as quickly as possible in a bottle. All right, Charlotte, I need you to make a straight intelligence arcana check.
Okie dokie, here we go.
All right. You begin. You're catching it, but you're kind of spilling it around. What are you going to do to make sure you get enough of the new multiverse in your container?
He's going to cast mirror. He's going to cast mirror image and then try to like toss down the.
They're illusions. They're not physical. No. No.
Oh, wait.
Go ahead.
Wait. I have a feature. I think it only is if it's inanimate. Hold on, let me double check. It's called Malleable Illusion. When you cast an illusion spell with the duration of 1 minute or longer, you can use your action to change. Yeah, so he creates a minor illusion, not a minor illusion, a mirror image, and they're all now physical shallots that are like have their own things.
And you're all collecting it and all these things. With that, you need to open. You essentially need to get back to the top of the world tree at the entrance to the gates of the moon. So in order to do this, you're going to need to use the key that has appeared in Brulinda's hand. As you collected the dream, a key appears in your hand. So all you have to do is turn it, and it will open a plane shifting portal to the top of the world tree.
And that's not the same key that we discussed about Heinrich.
It is, but it can be used 3 times.
All right, so I will turn the key.
All right, you turn the key, and as you turn it, and you are leaving this plane of existence, you see the shadowy form collect the eye from the skull of the Golem god, and retreat. And for those of you that watch the Tuesday show, Vecna Lives, you know that Vecna has his eye and his hand back, and that he.
Yeah, I'm kind of salty about that.
Oh wait, yes, you're in that game.
I'm Kane Abelson.
All right. So now, at the gates of Saloon, her assistant takes the elixir, and they pour it into a mold, and they bake it, and they pull out a new building block, and they swap your O-Earths, and they say, on the light of the full moon, which will occur in 3 hours' time, a doorway to the infinite staircase will open, and you will be allowed to descend the steps back to where you were when the Dark Lord, the land, appeared in your realm. It will be almost as if nothing happened. How do you spend the next 3 hours?
Long rest and shoving as much food and water as I can into the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Is there anything you ask, say, Looney, while you're in her presence, or her interpreter? I'm curious how each character kind of plays this out.
Oh, Charlotte is going to approach and ask her, is the extra-planar calamity that I sensed on Earth have anything to do with Ragnarok?
forgot about Ramnarok. Thank you, Alex. She goes, no, it was just a dramatic plot device used by dungeon masters on the Greyhawk channel to justify the absence of their regular dungeon master.
Oh, good. Whew. Woo. Because we may have stopped. We might have stopped that planar eating monster, but Ramnarok is a completely different story.
At some point during the 3 hours after I've shoved all the food and water into, I'm not sure Shane's gonna be very happy with you because that was one of his major driving things. You need to find water. Well, now we found a lot. I will.
I'm sure he keeps track of your ammunition and light sources too.
He probably does.
No, he doesn't.
So I will at some point, as I'm walking by where Saloon and her interpreter are, I'll just kind of stop and give her a look. And for once, I'm letting Grant know. Berlinda will actually listen. And she will say, I'm sure as you've realized by now, I don't like the gods. But I appreciate the help that you've given us today.
And she explains that her boon will be upon you for as long as it is able to shine. And I'll work that out with Shane, exactly what that means, because I'd like you guys to get some sort of reward for playing in 2 ridiculous adventures with me. Odos, how do you spend the 3 hours?
Well, Lux was turned into...
Yeah. They're restoring her now. As you come back, she takes back her form as you sort of emerge.
I just kind of happen to be around where Lux is. Yeah, doing stuff. Obviously not paying attention to her or anything like that.
Charlotte comes over.
Doing some pull-ups,
He creates a minor illusion of a lute, and then he uses malleable illusion to make it a physical lute, and he starts to sing "Kiss the Girl."
I did that to them once.
Shy.
I didn't.
You got to kiss me, girl.
I sigh and I go far away. I'm gone.
All right. And with that, go ahead and narrate, Mark, the end of Artyom's story as far as it goes interacting with this party.
Well, I'm going to say I'm going to ask for the Lady Saloon to join us as I walk up to them, and I'm going to address them both, because if I've made this character today, I want to make something of him. So I'm going to walk up to these guys and I'm going to say, well, that was quite an adventure. It's been some time since I've actually left the World Tree here, and I will not lie. It's given me the inspiration to travel again. I just wanted to say thank you. You are all great warriors, and he looks at Charlotte, with unique skill sets. I hope, and I look to Berlinda and Odos in particular. I have, like I said, I have been watching. I hope you can free your friend. No one deserves that fate. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
My lady. Ramsey, keeping quiet. My lady, as I have said, I think it's time for me to leave. I was wondering if you could open up a plane shift portal for me. And I go over to the map table, and I said, and he won't say a name. He just says, he points to one. He says, "I've always wanted to go here. Would that be possible?" And Grant, you know me. You got a feeling you know where he's going.
For the audience, say where you're sending him.
I'm sending him because I pretty love this character, and I would like to use him in the future in some form of discretion. So I would like to send him to my homebrew world of Salem.
Okay. He is granted his leave to go, and they pray they will find a suitable replacement. However, they mention much of the memories he obtained here will be lost during his travels, but they'll keep them for him for when he returns.
No, he knows this, and he will accept that. He knows the score. He just wants to travel again. These guys have given him the wanderlust back, so he'll just turn around. He will nod to her, and then he'll just turn around, give them all a flourish and a bow, and then he'll just look up and he says, "If you see old man Mordenkainen again, tell him I said hi." And with that, he will turn around and he will walk. He will walk through the portal.
And with that, you descend the staircases immediately into the position you last found yourself. But you notice as you resume your position in the Hellfire engine, Charlotte is nowhere to be seen. And that is the end of the chapter and the end of Mordenkainen's Path of the Plains, the movie. So let's go around. Did we enjoy ourselves today? How about Mr. Sean McGovern?
Hey, thanks for running the game, and thank you for jumping in there, RDM. And yeah, it was awesome. Thank you very much for doing it. I like this campaign, and I like our characters, so it's very cool. And I like getting to ride a dragon also.
Yeah.
So everybody, don't forget, tomorrow I'm going to be running Secrets of Castle Greyhawk at 1 p.m. Eastern on this channel. Lauren Irwin was in the group, but she can't do it anymore. So we have our new player debuting tomorrow. That'll be pretty cool. And then Saturday, I'm going to try to run 2 games on my channel, one at 3 p.m. Eastern and one at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And on Waffle Talk next Tuesday, we are going to have a very special guest, Anna Prosser Robinson. She plays Evelyn. Can't wait to have her back on Waffle Talk. And I also have a special guest that's going to be on one of my shows in a couple weeks, but I don't want to spoil it. I want to surprise my players, so I'm going to wait. I'm not going to say any more. That's it for me.
And Kelly, playing Brulinda.
Yep, you can find me on Twitter at the Opera Geek every Wednesday here from 2 to 5 on the Greyhawk channel. And starting in August, I will be doing something on Wednesday nights with Grant, which I don't know if I can talk about yet, so I'm not going to.
I'll say this. Unofficially, Kelly's part of one of the 3 Invisible Sun campaigns I'm running, but we didn't officially announce that here or anything like that.
No.
On WebPM show.
It is not official yet.
No.
So other than that, you can I do appear occasionally in one-shots for people, which will always be announced on my Twitter. I really appreciate Alex and Mark and Grant coming in and kind of filling in. And thank you all for watching.
And Charlotte, Zippy Zippo.
I am Zippy Zippo. You can find me here on Twitch at Zippy_Zippo, where I do a bunch of variety gaming. Maybe thinking about doing some tabletop gaming here in the future, but that is still projects under wrapped. I bounce around Twitch doing a bunch of other D&D shows. You can catch me here every Tuesday for Vecna Lives, a wonderful little romp through Greyhawk where I play Kane Abelson. And you can find me on every Monday on Scraticus's channel playing City of Mists, where a group of powered people try to stop the Y2K bug. Or something to do with Y2K.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good campaign with Tall Squall, Dinah Kennedy, Kiana Shaw, and Alice, White Rabbit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
Stop Y2K. That's awesome.
We're trying our best. They are anyways. And Mr. Mark Alexander Cross, who is not Kempestry. How was the adventure? Where can we find you online?
Okay, first of all, thank you so very much for having me today. This has been a blast. I'm a fan of this show, so it was nice to actually come on and play. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Mark Alexander Cross. I go by the handle of Capricorn Cross, all one word. Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, all under that handle. That's where you find me. I have my own D&D 5e show that Kelly's recently been on, called The Chronicles of Cascadus. It takes place every Tuesday. It's going to be next week, 8 p.m. UK time, which I believe is 3 p.m. Eastern. That is a series of adventures, like 3 or 4 episodes, much like these past couple of one-shots that all tell sort of like a mini story arc in the like. And because of Artie on today, he is, well, thanks to Grant, he is going to my world. So if you tune into that show, you may see the Wandering Eladrin again. But apart from that, I also do RPG, video game RPG content, more tabletop RPG content, and soon I'm going to be doing a lot of prep and planning because I'm planning on putting a second show on my channel using the GURPS tabletop role-playing game system, and it's going to be set in Terry Pratchett's Discworld. So keep an eye out for that. And again, just thanks for having me. Cheers.
And I am Grant Ellis. I am a independent content creator for tabletop RPGs. I work as a consultant for 3 different game companies. You've heard of some of them you may not have heard of. I am a full-time 3-job kind of guy where I work my day job. I'm a father, and I also stream about 27 hours a week. You can find me on Twitter at WisePapaGrant. You can find me on a lot of different shows. Check my Twitter for my schedule. It's in constant flux this time of year because it's convention series. I will be at Gen Con running games for the Greyhawk channel as well as Kobold Press officially. And I'm also at GexCon where I'm the tabletop director. We're doing a lot of D&D there, and I've actually organized the full event from a tabletop perspective for 5 different RPGs and 3 different CCGs and other fun things like board game checkouts. You can also see me running on this channel Friday nights on the Queen of Spiders campaign. Thank you all for watching so much, and we really appreciate all of you, the bits, the cheers, and the activity in chat. So thank you all, and have an excellent day. Bye!